Morning Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're here with us today. We want you to know your soul is welcome here, and you are in the right place at the right time. Isn't that right, Bejan?
Oh, yes, that's right. Come on, family. Join us this morning.
Just Good morning. Good morning. It's a wonderful morning, and good morning, Patty Peters. Thank you for being on the platform with me today.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're glad.
We greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy, and in this warm and loving energy of our spiritual community. Spiritual Life Center honors all people, worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no space that God does not grace. If this is your first time joining us, online or on site, we especially welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. You are here by divine appointment. And we'd really appreciate it if you would silence your electronic devices and refrain from flash photography during the service.
And now, as we turn our attention to the service and turn within and allowing the outside world to just drop away for an hour and a half, we take ourselves into prayer with gratitude to be together, to share the consciousness that we build as we do join together, knowing that everything that we do is for our highest good and is for the highest good of the world in general. And we know that before we even take a step, the idea is there, and that we bring it into manifestation in so many beautiful ways through the consciousness that we develop and through the being together and the love and the peace and the joy that we share. We are so incredibly grateful for that. And we know that we come together by divine appointment, and that each of us will walk away with exactly what we need today, and we will be filled, and we will be full, and we will be grateful. And so it is. The Spiritual Life Center has a mission that we say together each week: to transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission through the 5 unity principles. And we say these because it's good practice for us to integrate them into our own consciousness. And of course, it also gives us a way to talk about what we do. If someone asks you, you go to this place, what do they teach? It gives you something to work with. So let's say these together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. Well, we are very excited today. We have a guest speaker, and she is well known for her work at Cap Radio as host of Morning Edition and Cap Radio Reads. She's an interfaith minister. She was ordained in 2009 in New York City. She is a speaker at half a dozen congregations and the teacher designer of the Transformation Path. And her Transformation Path training has contributed to the inner transformation of many people, and we're happy to welcome her back. She's going to bring that back at the beginning of next year. Yes, so she and I have collaborated on several episodes of my podcast, Discovering Spirit Within, and we've learned a lot from each other through those informal, spontaneous conversations. Like, oh, I never thought of that. Oh, I never thought of that. And she always has a different and interesting take on any subject, so I'm excited to hear what she has to share with us today. And newsflash, her first book, this is your second book. Second book is now available on Amazon. It is called Drive Time Meditations. I was fortunate to be one of the people who helped edit it, and it is amazing, and it is peaceful, and it is wonderful. So as soon as we're done here, rush out to Amazon and get a copy. We love to welcome Reverend Donna Apidone.
And now we're sending a call out for Faith in Action home host facilitators and home hosts. Faith in Action is our annual community-wide book study. This year we are studying Divine Audacity by Linda Martella Whitsett, and today we invite you to become a home host or facilitator. Have any of you been home hosts in the past or facilitators? I see quite a few hands. It is a great way to meet new friends and to deepen your spiritual experience and connection with old friends. You can host in your home or via Zoom. If you have questions, Reverend Deborah is happy to chat with you. Please sign up online today. I would like to say that I came here about 4.5 years ago, and you know, it's kind of hard, was hard for me to meet people just after service. I was pretty shy. And then I did my first Faith in Action. And I'm telling you, it was fantastic. I met in a home with about 8 of us, and I was kind of the newbie, and everyone was welcoming, and we made friends, and we learned, and we did deepen our spiritual awareness and made new friends and spiritual connections. So I highly recommend hosting, facilitating, and then participating in this event.
Thank you for that advertisement. So I want to say thank you to all of those who sponsored, bought tickets, or volunteered for last night's Light the World Honors. It was a pretty amazing evening. The Light the World Honors event was the second of our summer fundraisers to celebrate our community and our connections, and of course to raise funds to support our mission to transform lives. If you're unable to join us last night, the Light of the World Honors program was videotaped, and both the awards program and the cabaret will be available to watch for a love offering in the next few weeks. So stay tuned and we'll let you know when they're available. Meanwhile, mark your calendars for Friday, September 30th for our annual gala, which will be held right here. We are currently calling for sponsors and also silent auction items. So if you have those, go to the hub and let people know. Okay, she's the hub lady. So visit the hub for more details, and individual gala tickets will go online next Saturday, August 21st. So we look forward to seeing everyone there. And each month, someone from the Board of Trustees does a board update, and our board president, Sally Sion, is here today.
Get a mic so you can actually hear me. That's nice. Okay, I have a million things to tell you today. Okay, so I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you. But I'll try not to be too boring, so don't go to sleep. Okay, the first thing is the most important thing that I have to tell you. Okay, we have, as new people come into our community, we welcome them immediately to consider becoming community members. So, in fact, if you're new and you're interested in membership in our community, we do have the community member information session after the second service today at 1 o'clock, so we'll do it again. We'll orient new people. But last month or month before, Grayson is very new to our community in terms of appearing in person because he's been only watching online. But either last month or month before, he came to the community orientation and decided to become a member of Spiritual Life Center. And so we want to welcome him. Please come up, Grayson. We want to welcome him and honor him. And this we made him a special tag, which shows he is a member, a lifetime member of the Spiritual Life Center, provided that you renew every year. We'll go into that later. We'll talk about the fine print that you didn't read before. But on the back of this, it has this little kiss. Isn't this lovely? And it says, "You are loved beyond measure." Okay, so I want to. Hands here. I want to put this on you, my dear. Okay, give you a hug. That wasn't in the script. The hug was, extra. Anyway, but here is our blessing that we frequently do for somebody that we want to really embrace. Okay, and so I want us to give Grayson this blessing. So if you'll join me, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold God's love as you. Welcome aboard, Grayson. Thank you for being here. Okay, now that was the important part. Now you can go to sleep. Okay. The board, we had this long period of COVID, didn't it? Does anybody remember that? And I hate to go back because we're not a caravan of despair. But what I want to say to you is that while the board was hunkered down and shoveling sand in the storm, that was about all we could do, okay? But you guys supported SLC so that we're still here today. That's the important part. Okay, and we are We've packed the tents up on the camels, and we're moving forward again. So there's lots of new things that are coming, okay, because we're looking out to the horizon again, okay? So here's some of the things that I want you to know about. Membership is key to being a spiritual cooperative. We are wanting to be a spiritual cooperative as opposed to a minister-driven church where we all just look up to James and we bow and everything is nice. We want you to all participate and be part of it. And this isn't a new idea, okay? This is not something we're imposing on anybody out of the blue. One of our founding ministers, Faith Moran, said that we belong to each other. Okay, that was one of her favorite quotes, okay? That is what we are constantly trying to promote here, is that we love and support each other and we are interactive with each other. So that's what membership in this spiritual cooperative is about. And we're going to continue, we're embarking on a new effort to keep people educated and involved in this whole idea of being involved, because we want the membership to drive what is happening here at Spiritual Life Center. So the board is working on that. We have two new people, well, they're not new, but two people who have both committed themselves to working on that primarily, and the board's going to be involved in that. And it's around the idea of membership, but it's because we know that we belong to each other. Okay, and that we are connected to each other. That is the core of this ministry, not just sitting here on Sunday and listening and then going out the door and saying, well, that was a nice talk, okay? So if that's what you want, that's fine. You can come, you can listen, you can go out the door and forget everything that we said, but the point is to make a commitment to ourselves to work on our own healing so that we can act as a group and a community to love each other to death, okay? To just love each other to death. So that's why we ask every year now for you to prayerfully consider whether you're in or out. And so we've done that for the year we had the membership drive, but you always can get back online. Just because you didn't do it on time, it's okay. If you've been a member of SLC, you just get online and you fill out the form again and you make the personal commitment that you're in. It's important because coming the 11th of September, we're having a membership meeting. And it's very important because we're going to vote at that meeting. I know you've all been poring over the bylaws at home. I know you've been doing this, okay? And we have to make some amendments to those bylaws. So we want you to be informed, and we have to have membership present and know who can vote, because we have a bunch of amendments that we need to do to make our bylaws relevant and current. So that's coming up. The other things that we're doing is we're having more, if you've noticed, we're having more fun fundraisers. We had a cabaret when community got to participate in it. We entertained ourselves, and I had a good time. Yeah, okay, I had a great time. You had a good, yeah. Everybody that participated had a great time, okay, and we're going to do it again because we had such a good time. That's the reason that we're going to do it again, because we like that. So that's coming up, and it will also help to provide funds for our community, okay? Okay, we're going to have Claudia Norton, whom is always here for the second service, 99% of the time as a greeter, and is in charge of the afternoon people or the later people. She's going to do an educational program for people. She happens to be involved in real estate, and she's come up with information about how real property can be donated to a nonprofit. So she's going to do a one-time information program. So this is coming. It's just a matter of her calendaring it on our schedule at this point. And you might find out if you own real property and you're interested in how you might have that as part of your estate plans, or you own a lot in Nome, Alaska that you don't need or whatever, you might want to donate it to SLC or to anybody else that you want. But she's going to do an educational program about that for you. So We also are going to increase the small groups. Patty did her commercial here about faith in action, but this has been such a wonderful program that we've done for years. But why should we only do it once a year? Why should we only provide our people an opportunity to be in a small group and study together for a short period of time on a particular subject with a particular goal, and only do that once a year when people should be able to make friends year-round? So next year we're going to start other small groups, and it'll be a year-round thing. We're still going to do Faith in Action, but you're going to have other opportunities to join other groups about other issues and get to know somebody as a real friend rather than somebody that you just greet and say hello to, on Sunday. It makes a huge difference in terms of our community when we know and love each other on that level. So, those are things we're working on. I thank you all for being on this journey with us because we're moving again. So I appreciate you. I love you. I belong to you and you belong to me. Thank you.
And by the way, Grayson's name is Greyson. I apologize for misspelling it on the slide. Here we are.
Okay, thank you. Remember, we have many activities, including weekly small groups. To discover all that is happening at SLC is to go to our website. On site, you can peruse the bulletin board out in the courtyard. Then you can go to the hub to sign up for an event.
Will our Board of Trustees and chaplains please stand? Our Board of Trustees wear the purple ribbons on their name badges, and they are here to guide, shape, and provide oversight for our community operations. So if you have questions about the vision of Spiritual Life Center, where we've been and where we're going, find one of the Board of Trustees and they'd be happy to chat with you. And our chaplains are here to pray with us in times of challenge and in times of joy, and they wear the white stoles and will be in the courtyard to pray with you after the service if you should desire.
And we'd love to welcome our newcomers. So in a moment, we will ask those of you here with us to raise your hand. There are many ways to connect at SLC, and you can get more information about small groups, events, and classes by filling out our online welcome card. If you are on site and you raise your hand, you can fill out the card and take it to the welcome table in the courtyard where you will receive a special gift and a very warm welcome.
So if you're here for the very first time, please raise your hand and keep it up so we can find you. Ooh, yes. We are offering you a purple ribbon that asks you to wear it on the left side near your heart so that we can greet you and offer you a heartfelt, warm SLC welcome. Thank you for joining us today on your unique path. And now let us stand and greet each other in the way that we are most comfortable.
Welcome and welcome. Let's continue on, and I'm going to invite you, family, I'm going to invite you to sing along with us. All Good by Ricky Byers. So keep standing and just join us in this energy. Keep the energy high. And the words are all good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy.
Bejan, you got me lost there. Thank you. Lost in the Spirit's a good place to get lost, isn't it? Well, at this time, I invite us all to speak our vision statement together. As Rev Deborah said earlier, it's really a useful and important thing to actually speak these words out loud to yourself, to your heart, to each other, and embody them and ensoul them. So let's do that together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And now, in preparation for meditation, let's sing this beautiful chant as we affirm there is more than enough for everyone.
It's true. So we invite you to sing from your heart, aloud, collectively, one. More than enough. More than enough. That's how it goes. More than enough. More than enough. Yes. More than enough. That's all you sing. More than enough for everybody. More than enough for everybody. More than enough. Life more
As we settle into this time of quiet, breathe naturally, and simply be aware of how you relax with each breath. Breathe into the back of your heart. Melt into your seat. And allow your vision to become soft and cloudy as you close your eyes. Now shift your focus to the gentle background music and imagine it as a musical stream flowing into the middle of your chest and directly into your physical heart. The energy slowly rotates and becomes a spiral, winding its way around your heart, expanding so that your entire chest is filled with a spiral of healing musical energy. As the spiral goes round, a small spiral arm separates out and rotates down your torso to fill your left leg and foot. And now another spiral arm appears and makes its way down, filling your right leg and foot. As the main spiral spins in your torso, another arm spins off into your left shoulder, arm, and hand, while still another spins off into your right shoulder, arm, and hand. And now the main spiral sends off one more up into your neck and into your head. You are a galaxy, your heart the center. It is the movement of spirit within you that rotates the central spiral and sends the arms of musical light to the far reaches of your body. Each cell is infused with this God light energy. Every cell is activated. Every cell wakes up and joins in this dance of love, light, healing. For a dance is what this is. The essence of God energy moves and circulates in and around you. Each cell activates the next. And they dance with each other in the light of God, and they know every step of the dance. Your very essence is dancing with one source, the light of light, the one holy energy. There is nothing but you and light and love. And you laugh in the pure joy of dancing with spirit, never missing a step, of being in complete harmony with your source. And you feel so alive as you dance with the divine in the silence. God in you and you in God. You feel so alive. And as you take a breath and begin to return to your physical body, please receive this blessing. Oh, my beloved, God lives and moves within you. Love, light, and healing, the movement of spirit within you is perpetual. It is what makes you feel so vital, so alive. And through you, and though you must return to worldly concerns, know that you are never alone, and you shall always be lifted to new heights by light and love. You are always dancing with God. Remember this, always.
What kept me sad was a story in my head about what I never had, or what I never said. But I got a song that the flowers gave to me. It helps me to be strong. It helps me to be free. And I'm walking with you. Can you help me? I'm walking with God. When I'm talking with you, your time, I'm talking with God. When I'm praying with you, I'm praying with God. If God is all there is, hey, then everything is God. When I'm laughing with you, together, I'm laughing with God. When I'm singing with you, I'm singing with God. In the arms of my friend, I'm in the arms of God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. Journey road, a journey we must take that starts from within, but that is one way ahead. I've got a song that the flowers gave to me. It helps me to be strong, and it helps me to be free. When I'm walking with you, I can't hear you. When I'm talking with you, I'm talking with God. When I'm praying with you, I'm praying with God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. When I'm laughing with you, I'm laughing with God. When I'm singing with you, I'm singing with God. In the arms of my friend, I'm in the arms of God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. One more time. If God is all there is, then everything is God. Thank you for joining me today.
Good morning. Good morning. That made my day. Did that make your day? Yes. It's so nice to see you all. So nice to be here. It's been a while. Here we go. The spiritual concept we're dealing with all month long is prosperity. Not too long ago, I got together with a couple of friends of mine, and we hadn't seen each other for a while. So it was really nice to get together. We're old friends. Everything was very sweet. Everything was very understanding. You know, that compassion and that connection that you have with people you know well and have known for a long time. It was all there. And then came the question that can make or break a conversation. What's going on with you? And for some reason, we just all went to the bad stuff. We just all went to, well, you know what's been happening with me, I'll tell you what's been happening with me. It was nothing really bad, no big disasters, but just we kind of let go and we kind of let loose and we talked about the stuff in life. And it was awful. It has nothing to, I'm not slamming the people I was with because some of them may be in the room right now. But I'm kind of hitting on myself here and saying that was not a good thing. That was not who I want to be. That was not how I want to be. It's an example not of my friends, but of myself when I chased something that was not spiritual prosperity. I kind of dove into some negative talk there that I wasn't very proud of, but it was a good example to share with you about how easy it is. Somebody just says, what's going on with you? And you're off and running in the wrong direction before you know it. It's really nice to have friends who I can let go with. You have friends like that, right? It's nice to have those friends. You can just say absolutely anything to them and with them. But about 5 minutes into hearing my own voice in that conversation, I was exhausted. It just took so much out of me to be saying anything negative at all. And that's how it is when I'm not standing in my spiritual prosperity. I feel depleted. When I'm not dealing with a prosperous subject matter, I really feel it. I was really glad when we moved on to politics because it was such a better conversation. Prosperity is a lot like some other spiritual concepts. We know what works. We know what to do. We see the value of it. But then we have to do it. And that's the part where sometimes there's a little bit extra step that we really have to focus and we really have to remember that our thoughts are powerful and that what we think becomes real. So we want to keep it really positive and we want to make sure that we are practicing the best level of spiritual prosperity. It's an opportunity and really a blessed opportunity for us to look at ourselves, to look at what we're thinking when that person cuts us off on the freeway, to look at what we're saying when our family members disagree with us on something. It's a good opportunity to just look at which direction we're going and to look at what we're chasing, because whatever we're chasing is what we're calling in. So we want to make it good. When we chase negativity and toxicity, that's what we get. When we chase spiritual prosperity, that's what we get. That's what we find. So we have to put on our prosperity superhero capes. You have one of those. It may be way in the back of your closet, but when you get home today, I want you to go through there. I actually have a Wonder Woman bracelet that I wear sometimes to remind me who I am. Whether it's my cape or my Wonder Woman bracelet, it's what we have to do. Just anything it takes to remind ourselves of who we really are, to stay focused on spiritual prosperity. About 30 years ago, there was a very talented major league ball player. He was a pitcher. He took a marker, and on the underside of the bill of his cap, he made a black arrow facing straight ahead. He was the only person who could see it. It wasn't against any kind of regulations for the league or his team. Nobody else could see it, but it was facing forward, and he said that it kept him focused. It kept him away from distractions. He wasn't talking about the crowd or the weather or anything like that. He just wanted to make sure that he wasn't distracting himself, that he was always focused on that batter and on the next pitch that he was going to throw. And that arrow, as silly as it might seem when you talk about it, was just the little thing that he played with in his own head to make sure he knew where he was going, to make sure that we're all headed in the right direction. We all need that little arrow that helps us stay focused and helps us moving straight ahead. My arrow, when I start to lose my way and I have to refocus, my arrow is to remind myself of my purpose. Because when I'm connected with my purpose, I feel a glow. I feel like I'm standing in a glow of spiritual prosperity. It's like, your favorite yellow sweater. It's warm, it's cuddly, it fits just right, and it feels like home. And that's what our spiritual prosperity feels like. We know when we're in it. Sometimes we don't recognize when we step out of it, but when we get back into it, we know it, and it feels great. I can distract myself very easily. Total ADD girl here, like squirrel, Totally forget where I am, who I am, and get distracted very easily. But I know that when I am in that place of spiritual prosperity, I'm not thinking of myself at all. I'm focused on purpose, and that means focused on the greater good. Purpose is my favorite topic. Purpose is to me the only thing that there is. And when I'm not in that place, I'm going around in circles. Years ago, I had a long relationship with a race car driver. For some reason, when I say that, people laugh, like, really? Really? And this was such an interesting group of people I hung out with for a few years. All these guys, and they were guys, a bunch of guys spending a lot of money on their cars, spending a lot of time in garages and on racetracks, practicing their driving skills, working on their technique. They had a lot of fun. But when the season was over, they had chased a checkered flag, and they had focused on their capacity for endurance and speed, but they had really just gone around in circles. They hadn't really gone anywhere at all. I never wanted to tell them that. But they stayed pretty much in the same square mile. That's how it feels when we're not in our purpose. We're just going around in circles, chasing something that doesn't matter. It's fun, but it's not all that important. Sometimes we're complaining about what's going on in our lives. But when we get back to purpose, that's when we're doing something that matters. I feel taller. I know when I'm in my purpose. I feel taller. It's that energy that just makes you feel very connected. The core of spiritual prosperity is purpose, and the core of purpose is empathy. When I do things for myself, it's but when I do things with purpose, it's for you, it's for you, it's for you. And then I really feel that connection. Then I really know that I'm devoting myself. All that energy comes back, right? It always comes back to us. But it can't start with me doing for myself. It has to start with me doing for someone else. And then it circulates and comes back. There's science behind this. Research shows that empathy pays high returns. So that's a good thing to know. Something happens in our brains when we're doing things for someone else that raises the bar quite a bit. And it makes us feel healthier and brighter and lighter. And we know, because we're metaphysical people, we know that energy is infinite. Why would we ever want to put something negative into the world if it's just going to keep circulating and circulating. Let's make it good. Your spiritual prosperity affects me as much as mine affects yours. We are all in this together. We are all doing this for each other. So it makes sense to make the most of it. I know when I look at my life, the times that I thought of myself first were times of great uncertainty. But the times when I was really focused on my purpose and really doing for the world around me, individuals and the greater good, those years just flew by effortlessly because of purpose, because of empathy. The biggest question I get about the work that I have done for a really long time at Cap Radio is, what time do you get up in the morning? But the other question is, how do you listen to all those hours of news coverage over and over and over again? How can you stand it? It's really easy because it's purpose. It's empathy. If I listen to it with any kind of distraction or negativity in my head, it would wear me out. It would wear me down. I wouldn't be able to stand it. But that's not what happens. My purpose as a host is not to tell you the weather and say, we got support from. It's to share the morning with you. It's to share the morning with you. When the news is good, I play happy music and we dance together. I can't see you, but I know you're dancing and I'm dancing too. When the news isn't that good, then we hold hands virtually. And we look at the world together and we say, what are we going to do with this? So it's individual. Every one of us reacts a little and responds a little bit differently. From those moments, you're making decisions about your life and what you're going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend it with you and look forward to the decisions you make, whatever they are. And even though some people think that I must get really worn out listening to that coverage over and over again for all those hours, I never walk out of that studio feeling depleted. I always know that I was on purpose and that I was connected. And I would like to think that you spend the majority of your day with that same sense of connection, with that same feeling of purpose that empowers you and makes all of our time together a lot more enjoyable. It's an exchange of energy. That's really what it is, an exchange of energy. Because we know our thoughts and our words come right back to us, so we have to make sure we're doing the right thing. If money is the goal, okay, we might get a lot of money, but it won't necessarily feel good. It won't necessarily be fulfilling. If you go through every day feeling like something is missing, then maybe that's your call to purpose. Maybe that's your call to connection. Maybe that's your opportunity to tap into spiritual prosperity. I am going to teach the transformation class again, starting in January. I only do that once every couple of years, and it's always really exciting for a lot of different reasons. One reason is because we look at each other in that room and we see the spark when somebody reaches that moment of finding their purpose, and we say, I see it. People just glow when they reach that place. It's not like they never had it. They've had their purpose all along, but there's something about finding it, reigniting that flame that's just so, so exciting. And the people who have taken that class have done some amazing things. I'll tell you about them sometime. I have interviewed a lot of authors in the last 10 or 15 years. I interviewed 2 women pretty close together with completely different sensitivity about spiritual prosperity. One wrote a book in which the characters were just kind of wandering aimlessly not a lot of purpose at all. And I said to her, which I say to a lot of authors, is, well, how is this connected to your life? Does this reflect something that's going on in your life? She said, no, not really. Oh, okay. And then I asked her about a specific scene, a very long scene that took pages and pages of the book that was very violent and very angry. And it just went on, and it was so dark and so tormenting and so like, ooh, I want to take a shower after I read this passage from this book. And I said, why did you want to write something like that? And she said, well, there's violence in the world, so I wrote about it. But she didn't. She made it up. It was fiction. She concocted the biggest, darkest passage of violence that I think I've ever read and chose to put it in there. And I thought that was such an interesting kind of thing, to invent violence where there is none. Then, not too long after that, I interviewed a woman whose childhood involved sexual abuse by a relative, which really did happen. And as awful as that was, she did not write about it in detail. She explained at a certain level in her book what had happened, and then she chose to write about what she was going to do with her life as a result of this. And I asked why, and she said, that's my purpose. My purpose isn't to tell you awful details of my life. My purpose is to say to people who read the book or who are in her audience when she speaks to groups, to say, you are heard, you are not alone, I am with you. I am going to work with you to build your spiritual prosperity. And from here, we move forward into something that's focused and purposeful and prosperous. A big difference between two women of about the same age who wrote 2 books at about the same time. Now, the woman who wrote the book with the very violent passage found success. She sold some books. But the other author glows. When you hear her speak, when you see her in person, she just shines. She's one of the most thoughtful, beautiful people I have ever interviewed because she has that sense, she has that spiritual prosperity. And she has that purpose. And she stays in my heart. We've become friends in the past few years since I first interviewed her because she shines so beautifully. It's just a lovely thing. You know who those people are in your life. Look closely at them, see why, and go with that. You can always build your spiritual prosperity. There's always room to build. You're refining, you're redefining. You're not starting from scratch ever. You've always had it. You just need that arrow under your cap to remind you which direction is straightforward. There's a process for reconnecting with purpose. It's pretty quick, but let me tell you about it. First of all, remember what you already know. You already know your purpose. You already know what it is that connects you with the world. And even though it may not be on the tip of your tongue at every given moment, you can make it so. You can connect with people. You can turn things around so that they're not self-serving, so that you're always making a contribution to something higher. Then look at the complaints you're voicing. I had to look really closely at those when I got together with my friends. I wasn't worried about what they were saying, but I wanted to do better myself. So look at what you're thinking. Look at what you're voicing. If it doesn't make you feel good, there's your cue. Look at the nature of what you're doing. Then realign. Realign, because that energy is circulating, so you have the opportunity to reconsider everything that you think and you say. If you're not having a good day, change it. It's just that simple. If you say that to people, if you're having a bad day, change it. And they say, oh, I don't know. I say, no, change it. It's not that hard. There are many days when you can do better than you've done. Look for the arrow in your cap to point you in the right direction. And then put someone else first. That's the core of purpose. It's not about you. Sorry. It's really about what you're doing for everybody else. Make sure it benefits someone else, and then let it circle back to you. And last, take authentic action. Make your purpose a reality. Don't wait. You know, too many of us have said, I should do that someday. Life is short. Do it when you leave here today. Large or small, take authentic action. There's that saying, nothing you do for a child is ever wasted. It's not limited to children. Nothing you ever do for anyone is ever wasted. It just has to be done. Don't go around in circles. Be careful what you're chasing. And then turn it into something better. I want to leave you with a prayer. And you know, sometimes when you go on the internet and say, I'd like a prayer about this, and I found this thing by the Dalai Lama, and my first thought was, oh, really? Was it really by the Dalai Lama? Because the internet is what it is. But then I noticed it was posted by an organization led by Jack Korngold. And I thought, well, all right, that's a little bit more reliable. So here it is. May I be a guard for those who need protection. A guide for those on the path. A boat, a raft, a bridge for those to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, and a healing medicine for all who are sick. For as long as earth and sky endure, may I assist until all living beings are awakened. May I assist while all living beings are awakened. What higher goal could we possibly want than that? So let's take this message into prayer. Divine Presence, you know where we are. You know that we have this spiritual prosperity. Let us see our purpose so that we can enjoy the highest prosperity you have to offer. Allow us to be of service until all beings are awakened. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Donna. Wow. And remember? Okay. Drive Time Meditations on Amazon. It's an amazing little book. And if it's something to take when you get into that place of your head spinning and going in circles. You can just sit down and quietly read a couple of those meditations, and it will bring you right back. So I highly recommend the book. Now, next week, James is back, and he's back. He's going to be talking about your possibilities are endless to continue our prosperity thing. And we've got Ann Roach and Larry Shiflett for our vocalists. So it's going to be a great Sunday. And now we have the opportunity to support Spiritual Life Center. And one of the ways to do that is to text SLC Love at 44321. You can also go to our website and click on the donate button. And of course, you can always mail in a check or a donation if you like to do it that way. And also, to continue to keep this consciousness spreading throughout the internet. If you are online, you can click, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever else the app might ask you to do to keep this going out and out and out until, hey, we're out in the entire universe. That would be very cool. And so now, Let us, I'm so sorry, she took me so far away. Let us say our offering blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
I used to see the world with such cynic view. I thought the winning gang was only relegated to the lucky few. But now I know if you choose. So I'm making more room for God. I ran around in circles, so unaware, caught up in my mindset, struggling just to get somewhere. Now with my eyes wide open, I see abundance everywhere. So I'm making more room for God. So I'll open up my heart, I'm lifting up my thoughts, and I'm breaking down the walls that surround my mind. Something amazing is happening right now. I'm making more room for God. That's right, making more room. I never could imagine this to be the case. The years of pain and heartache all now have been erased. Now I know the meaning of amazing grace. So I'm making more room for God. Standing on the crossroads, I've never felt so strong. If love have changed your life, you wanna pass it on. Keep growing in love, and we can't go wrong. Let's start making more room for God. So let's open up our hearts, keep lifting up our thoughts, and breaking down the walls that surround our minds. Hey, something amazing is happening right now, right now. Hey, we're making more room for God. Oh yeah, we're making more room. Tearing down the walls and open up our doors, making more room, making more room. We'll never set the world on fire if we're only preaching to the choir. Hey, making more room. say that last line again. Hey, hey, we'll never set the world on fire if we're only preaching to the choir. Hey, y'all felt that? Making more room. Making more room. Yes, make more room, make more room.
Thank you, Bejan. It's always such a treat to have you with us. And we give thanks for the offering today, knowing that as we give and as we receive, we are increasing our own prosperity, keeping that flow going in and out and around and up and down. It is the most beautiful, wonderful thing that we can do for each other. And we bless the prayers in the prayer box, knowing that even before the question is asked, the answer is here, and it is here now. And as we pray for these people, for these requests, we know that the right answer is here in the right time for the highest good of everyone involved. And as we send these prayers to Unity Village, Silent Unity, for another 30 days of prayer, simply solidifies it and brings all of the perfect answers into manifestation in the highest and best way possible. And we say, thank you, God. And so it is. And now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And now our peace song.